Hey, welcome back. I'm very excited today. I bought our next build this morning and it will be shipped here shortly. I can't wait. So we got another one lined up after this one and I know you guys are gonna like it. So let's get down to it. Today we're gonna try and finish up the wide body kit. Stay tuned. Now that we know precisely, oh man, there's television. Okay, just if you see video games in the paint, just ignore it. Just focus on the car stuff, you know. That's what we're here for, guys. Anyways, now that we know precisely where we cut on the other side, we can just start by cutting this side before we do the over fender. That way, we don't have to put the fender on and off and on and off and off. I decided to go with the cutoff wheel to cut the outer skin this time because it gives me the ability to only cut through one layer of the skin and not the inner skin, which this deep blade will do. So now I'm gonna go ahead and just zip this off and relief cut it, bend it up, and trim off the excess. All right, it's all cut and trimmed up. Time to hit it with a spot of zinc weld-through primer, which is a step I forgot on the other side, but of course commenters will not let you forget. So I will do it on this side, then we'll go ahead and weld it up. All right, all welded up very nicely. And then I threw a coat of primer on it. So let's literally watch paint dry for just 1 second. And then I'll throw some fiberglass on here. And then that's it. The hardest part of wide bodying a car is basically done. Cutting the rear fenders will be done. And we can start applying the body kit. All right, the rear end is all fiberglassed up and I've given it some time to dry while I went out and got lunch dinner, and now it's time to keep going on the body kit. So a lot of comments said, tape the panels in place while you test fit them. It's not as easy as it sounds. These panels, when you go to tape them, they flex and stuff like that to get in the right shape and in the right position. So as you tape it, they're not really gonna sit like they would sit on the car when you bolt it down, unless you use some really strong tape, which is what I'm gonna try and do just to make you guys happy. I can just take measurements of where this piece lands based on the other piece on the other side, but I wanna try, so I'm gonna try and tape this using the door sill. I think that might actually make it work. Tape the side skirt in place, test with the rear over fender with the side skirt, make sure it's all good before I start drilling holes. Also, I'm just gonna run back and forth and do measurements. Measure twice, drill once, let's go. I mean, when it really comes down to it, it's like I've always said, you gotta be using tape. If you're not using tape to hold your panels in place while you drill, then you're just wasting your time. I said this since day one. I don't know why you guys haven't absorbed it yet. So all these are in there with just temporary bolts just going into the smaller size hole. So now I'm gonna pop both the panels off and go ahead and bore out those holes large enough for the rib nuts, place the rib nuts, and then get the panels back temporarily placed. Well, that was a really fun way to spend an hour and a half. What happened was the cheap Harbor Freight rib nut gun, the head of it that sets the nut bent. So then when I was squeezing these things down and pulling it out, they were in there like kind of cockeyed and bent, and it was causing a lot of cross threading. So I had to cut a lot out and then replace them and go back and forth, and it was a nightmare. So don't buy cheap. Astro-Nomadic is a company that I work with that makes some really good tools for these things, so that's what I would recommend. Now the side skirt is on and that one's good. It's time to go ahead and attack this large rear piece. That went a lot better once I got that new tool. So we got the side skirt and the over fender on. That's awesome. Let me talk about the trunk and the ducktail a little bit. The trunk has a lot of holes. I think I counted 18, and a lot of them are gonna need to be filled and finished so it doesn't look all bumpy. And some of them are just gonna need to be filled, and they'll be covered by this. But if I go ahead and install this now, we're gonna have a series of riv nuts. We're gonna have one for each one of these little dimples on the back there, and it's gonna make it really hard to sand everything flat because we're gonna be running into those riv nuts. So I've decided I'm gonna install this later because it'll make the body work on that hatch deck a lot easier. So we're gonna move on to the fenders now. Now these fenders are not the ones we're gonna be keeping on the car. I have some from JDM Buyer on the way. They're gonna be here tomorrow, and they're metal. So we're gonna go ahead and test fit using these fiberglass fenders, and then we'll use the real fenders in the end. But I need to test fit, that way we can see what the oomiee bumper is looking like and other things like that with the over fender. So we need to basically set the over fender in the spot that it's gonna be at. That way we can go ahead and chop these guys off the Rocket Bunny and install them on our bumper. So that means that I gotta go ahead and install the fender and then cut the majority of it back off, and then temporarily install the over fender, which I'll probably do with just some small rivets. That way we can drill it back out. All right, we got the front driver's side one done. That was actually really easy. Obviously with a fiberglass fender, you can cut through it like butter. And I just put a couple small, tiny little rivets in the back of it. So the front is fully adjustable. We can slide it up or down as we want it to meet up with our bumper. And that was really easy. I made one mistake. I cut too much material off right here, so this rivet basically went into air. So that's something to remember on the next cut, and when we get our metal fenders, I won't make that mistake. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side as well. We need to have both sides to see this full picture. Let's go ahead and make that cut now. Got the second fender on. It looks really goofy right now without the wheels to fill up the space, but don't worry guys, it'll get there. My Rocket Bunny BRZs definitely looked really strange when my wheels got stolen and I had put non-wide body wheels on, but it'll get there. I got great wheels on the way. So the next thing I'm gonna do is temporarily remove that front impact bar because we can't run with it. I'm gonna drill a couple holes in the oomiee bumper to temporarily mount those driving lights. And I'm gonna mock that up to the car, and hopefully I'll be able to get it to stay in there. I might have to drill some holes and like do a temporary mounting. That way we can get it up against those fenders and those fender flares and see what we have. There she is. We got things test fit up. So everything is very loose in the front. The bumper does not fit very well at all. Big shocker. The line where the hood matches up with the bumper is just pretty far off. But then the fenders and stuff, that's just a total guessing game because we have these fiberglass fenders that are all shattered. But quick walk around, that's kind of what we're looking like. It's obviously looking really goofy without the wheels to fill it out. But overall, I am not 100% sold on the Mamamiya bunny. I mean, I think it looks cool. I'm just not 100% sure if it is the right bumper to use with this combo. What I don't like about the Rocket Bunny and what I do like about the Mamamiya bunny is that the Mamamiya bunny bumper has, you know, the bottom of it sticks out further than the top. So you have this down sloping line here, and that kind of meets up with it, and you get this kind of wedge shape, which is a traditional bumper thing. The Rocket Bunny is like a reverse wedge. It comes down and then it shoots back down in, and there's nothing to fill this bottom space up. And I think it looks weird, but there are things that we could build. We could essentially build a bottom diffuser. It comes with a little lip kit. We could build a lip and a diffuser that would stick that out, maybe a couple support rods going up to the core support, and it would give a better effect and a better look, and that's something that we could do. Or we could run with the Mamamiya bunny. Yeah, Mamamiya bunny concept. I'm just not really sure, but that means that I should just sleep on it. So I'm just gonna sleep on it. I've seen some other concept pictures of people that have done this, and I do definitely like the look. But I'm also worried about this bumper fitment. You can see that the hood actually overlaps the bumper right here to make this even get close. But if you actually space it out the way it's supposed to go, it's a little scary. It's a little scary. So that's something to keep in mind as well. But I'm definitely tonight not gonna cut up that bumper. All right, guys, that's it for tonight. My skin is itching from the fiberglass. I want to get a shower. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks to our sponsor for this series, JDM Buyer and RB Motoring. JDM Buyer, that's the one that you go to import the Japanese parts. You buy the parts from Japan, direct from the sellers in Japan, get a fraction of the cost you normally would, and then you import them with JDM Buyer. If you want to buy the whole damn vehicle, that's the RB Motoring side. Link to both of those is in the description. You guys, let me know what you think. Re-amamiya mixed with the Rocket Bunny, or do I just go 100% Rocket Bunny? I'm very in the middle right now. I could be probably convinced either way. So just let me know in the comments what you guys think. I think both ways would look good. I'm just not 100% sure on which way would look the best. And I want to make sure I'm not making the decision solely based on the fact that it'd be a lot easier to do the Rocket Bunny one because it fits well. I don't want to take the easy way out if it's not going to look as good. But I really just don't know which one will look as good. It's tough. That's why I'm gonna sleep on it, and then I'll see you guys tomorrow when we're back to do more car stuff on B is for Build, the everyday car show now. Until I lose my mind. All right, see you then. Peace!
Come on.